Welcome to this review video for Hunter x Hunter Chapter 398, Search. Now the Phantom Troop flashback has ended. I personally thought we may have got one more chapter, but we're now back into the main timeline. So if you remember, a few weeks back, Kenny Wang and Hinrigi got tipped off about the supposed location of the Haley family boss. They checked it out and what they found was like some type of NEN ability was at use and it was teleporting people somewhere. So they relayed the information to the spiders and are looking for their help in the matter. After digesting the information that people be getting teleported at certain points in the room, they was doing lots of different testing on how this worked, and again just showing why Hunter x Hunter is separate from other shonen and in fact just other manga. Togashi, he is the technical master. This is also a good segue into new information from Togashi himself about the different NEN systems and affiliations with each NEN type, be it Conjurer, Emitter, etc. So he had his 35-year anniversary as a mangaka exhibition earlier this year in Japan called Puzzle, and there was a memo drawn in this exhibition with like a diagram of the standard NEN hexagon. Now the new information Togashi has presented to us through this exhibition and this memo is an updated take on NEN. So it's no longer the case that characters have affinity with only one NEN type, so now characters can sit bang in the middle. So for example, Killua was previously thought of as a pure transmuter, he is now thought of as a transmuter enhancer. And depending where people are sat on the line, they can be like, you know, say 90% transmuter and 10% enhancer. So yeah, it's really cool that Togashi would do something like this so late into the game. There are quite a few characters on here and it shows where they sit on the new diagram. However, there's no new characters from the Succession War arc, so it's just characters that we've met previously in the story. Personally, I feel like he's done this just to give himself a little more leeway and not be so constricted with people's power typings. So, you know, if he wanted Killua to be able to do something else, he can do it now. And of course, we've already seen people that can kind of do like more than one kind of thing, like other members of the Zoldyck family. And despite NEN being a somewhat convoluted and confusing power system, it is so deep and diverse, and it really shows in Togashi's writing just how specific situations can be for characters to be pitted against each other and all the different variables of what can happen given one's NEN ability facing off against another's. And the thoughtfulness of NEN can really be felt in this chapter with the dialogue between Nobunaga, Finks and Phaeton. So they're trying to figure out how dangerous it's going to be to step into the unknown. So they're thinking, are they going to be teleported to the hideout? Is the NEN user going to be there? Are they still nearby? Like, there's so much to think about with NEN and Hunter x Hunter, and we love it. We really do. So whilst the spiders are discussing the options on what to do, Kenny Wang and Hinrigi turn up. So Hinrigi relays this new information to the spiders that his NEN ability turns inanimate objects into living things. And he basically has footage of some Healy family members using the NEN ability to teleport from one area to another. So Hinrigi uses his NEN ability to turn a transmitter into a raw oyster. He proposes somebody ingest this, be teleported to this unknown area, and the remaining spiders will have a responder on them to see the location of where said person has been transported to. It's so funny in this chapter as well, seeing Nobunaga somewhat lose his cool after being offered a raw oyster that he's had bad experience with before. And then later on in the chapter we see him looking so badass. But anyways, Hinrigi himself decides to swallow the raw oyster and become the transmitter and step into the unknown. Upon arriving in unknown territory, Hinrigi immediately becomes wary because of all the blood on the floor, and also he feels a presence behind him. It turns out Nobunaga decided to join him. To Hinrigi's surprise, he asks why Nobunaga's there, and Nobunaga basically says, well, Finks and Phaeton told me if you had said something like I knew you would come here, they said to cut you down straight away. So the spiders don't really trust anyone, so they really had to fish out whether this guy was trying to set them up. However, Nobunaga said, you seem genuine, and this is where the bromance really starts to blossom. Nobunaga says that he didn't feel Hinrigi had set a trap. He was like, it would have been naive for you to kind of make us trust you so swiftly if he was setting a trap. And now that Nobunaga has taken a liking to this guy, he decides to ask for his name again. He says he couldn't be bothered to remember it last time. So yeah, it's nice to see that they're on the same page now and that they have each other's backs in enemy territory. Nobunaga believes they are behind the wall of the Healy family boss. Nobunaga tries to cut down the wall, but he says it's being guarded by NEN, and a pretty strong NEN, and it cuts to a panel of Marina Prudo. So yeah, are they right behind the wall where she is? Whew! we're getting close to the Healy family boss now. Hinrigi mentions that he recognizes this passage from the footage he obtained, so it most likely is their main base. And Nobunaga says security is probably tight then, so we're going to have to go straight for the ringleader. And yeah, the chapter kind of ends off with Hinrigi and Nobunaga searching for the enemy now. And again, Nobunaga tells Hinrigi to drop the honorific, so don't call me Nobunaga-san, like Nobunaga's fine. So it's really nice just to see the spiders gain someone's trust. This was a very nice chapter of Hunter x Hunter. I'm glad to be back in the present timeline and getting to the boss of the Healy family and just, potentially seeing more conflict very soon. The flashback with Crawler was really nice. I mean, there's only so much time to actually can give to that in the middle of this crazy arc, but yeah, it was nice just to get some insight and backstory of how the spiders were formed and of course all the Sheila stuff. But again, I'm glad to be back in this present timeline. It feels like chaos is around the corner, and we haven't seen too much from Nobunaga in the story previously, so I'm going to be excited to see some more from him. But guys, that's going to be it from me. Apologies for the late review this week, and I'm going to be back next week with a review for chapter 399. I've been Agirisu Weeaboo. Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video for more content like this, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.